Yeah, welcome. Please rise. Our Pledge of Allegiance today is led by combat medic, Bronze Star recipient, Army Medical Corpsman, Scott Stalker.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For the four-way test of the things we think,
Say or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Nancy. Please be seated. Well, you may notice that I'm not Chad Stam, so this is just a thrill to be up here. With our guests and visitors, Jerry Walsh. Go right ahead.
Today.
It's my pleasure today to introduce two visitors. One, I think many of you know and virtually everybody knows of, is Sylvia Pettum, who the local historian, Sylvia. And with her and with me is Barbara Buckman, who works at the Carnegie Library and has been a huge assistance in putting together the materials that you'll see in a few minutes when I put on the program. Well, please welcome Sylvia and Barbara.
Hello, I'm very excited to welcome my husband for his first guest appearance at Boulder Rotary Club. In my second week with the Blue Badge, I think I'm bringing him. He's a professor of economics at CU Boulder. He has been predicting inflation, runaway inflation, for about a year and a half, and the economy has finally made an honest man out of him.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming and enjoy the meeting.
All rise. Okay.
If it please your honor.
Yes, it does. It pleases your honor very much. Hi, I'd like to introduce Bill West. He's from the Denver 31 Club and is considering a relocation to Boulder. And he's been, as I said to someone else, he's been stalking us online by watching our past programs and was impressed enough that he wanted to come and join us today.
I love your website and your archives.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any Vanessa Zoom guests?
Whoops. Yes, we do. Now, hang on one second, sorry. I think we have 4 Zoom guests. If you wouldn't mind, those people on Zoom, unmuting yourselves and each taking a turn introducing yourselves and saying hi. The first person I'd like to call on is Gail. Would you like to say hi, Gail?
I'm very pleased to be joining you today. I'm with Indian Peaks Chapter NSDAR, and I've had some wonderful conversations with Bill about the topic of our presentation today. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks for joining us. And Chris W., would you like to say hi?
My name is Chris Watson, and I am Roy Watson's granddaughter, and so I'm interested in the topic today.
Thank you. And then Barbara Zedek, would you like to say hi?
Hi, I am also with the Indian Peaks chapter of the DAR. Been interesting to talk with Bill.
Fantastic. And then lastly, Denise Grimm.
Hi, I'm with the county's Historic Preservation Program, and I've been talking to Bill about this project.
Great. I hope I didn't miss anybody on Zoom. Welcome. Thank you for joining us and enjoy our program today.
Well, Bill, you're quite the draw. We need to have you speak more often. And while we still have the Zoom link, we're going to acknowledge our veterans that are in the room a little bit later, but are there any veterans on Zoom? If so, please unmute yourself and your rank, your name, and your branch. Okay. Well, we wanted to make sure you had that opportunity if there were any veterans on our Zoom. So just a few announcements from the podium. The first is George Browning, his brother, passed away. He was 81, Barton, on Friday. He was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer about a year ago, and he bravely fought this disease. He was able to remain at home throughout this time, did exceptionally well until recently. So if you see George Browning, maybe say something to him, a nice word, email, a call. I'm sure he would appreciate it. Next thing I'd like to do is, we had World Polio Day 2 or 3 weeks ago, and a very important person in that program was not able to be there that day, but he is here today. So I would like to acknowledge him. Let me say some nice things about him before he stands up and receives all of our thanks. Carl Tinsman joined the United Nations in 1974, 30-year veteran of the UN. He served in UNICEF headquarters in New York and the World Health Organization headquarters in Geneva, but mostly in field assignments in Nepal, Afghanistan, Ethiopia, Liberia, Yemen, Kenya, South Sudan, and Geneva. He began his polio eradication work in Yemen in 1994. Since his retirement from the UN in 2004, Carl has continued to volunteer and to consult for the global effort in India, in Pakistan, and also in Kenya, reviewing the Horn of Africa polio outbreak countries. And he's our member, Carl Tinsman. Please stand up, Carl. Thank you, Carl. And he's my sponsor in the club. So you got a problem, blame him. Okay. If you won a raffle, if you bought a raffle ticket, stand up. Stand up if you bought a raffle ticket.
How about 3?
Okay, if you bought 3, you get to stand up 3 times. Okay, so sit down when I'm going to read the numbers when it no longer fits, the digits no longer fits. If you have a 7 as the first number, stay standing. If you have a 2 as the second number, stay standing. 4, 7. So far, the people who are standing are 72447, and the last digit is 7. Oh, there we go. There's Ruth. Ruth has the big prize today. So we would like to go into an acknowledgement of our veterans in the club. Veterans Day, of course, was yesterday. We asked in preparation for today's meeting for you to send photos to us back in the day. And so I received 4 photos, of which a couple of them are here today. So the very first one, if I could put it up on the screen, we're going to play Name That Person. Who do you think that is? Norris Hermsmeyer. Give the microphone to Lieutenant Junior Grade Norris Hermsmeyer. And he's going to describe this photo for us.
This is myself and Jim Swaby in October of 1969. I was stationed in Trang and had to go to Saigon for some business before my end of my tour was to occur. And on the way to Saigon, I flew down to meet Jim Swaby in Long Binh. We had about 24 hours together before I headed off by hitchhiking into Saigon. But 52 years ago with Jim Swaby. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Norris. Why don't you? Our next photo is Scott Stalker. Well, I just told you who it is, so you're not going to guess, but that's Scott Stalker. Scott, do you want to describe what you're doing here, or tell us this photo?
I'm having lunch.
He's talking about his present location, having lunch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was based at Quang Tri, which is just about as far north as you could get before you get to the DMZ. And so I suspect this was about when he was assigned to be the head of the aid station after being out in the field for a few. That's why he's happy.
Great.
He's not in the field anymore.
Great. Thank you, Nancy and Scott. The next two are not here. The next one, anyone have an idea who that is? That is Sergeant George Browning. He was, I talked to George about this. He was already a lawyer. They wanted him to go to officer candidate school, but he declined because that would make his enlistment longer. And he's like, nah, I'm not so sure about that. But that is Sergeant George Browning. And then the last one, he's not here either. Anyone idea who would wear pants like that? George Russell. That would be George Russell. So I have no idea anything about that photo because he didn't respond to my email about more information. So we're going to do the, we've done this has been a tradition here at Boulder Rotary where we play the military anthems, and I love a sing-along, so we're going to sing along. And the words are on there. If you are a member who hasn't been, even if you've been acknowledged already, if you're a member if you're a veteran, as your branch is played and we sing, please stand up. All right?
Shout, counter marching all about, and those caissons go rolling along. For it's high, high, in the field artillery.
thank you once again for all of your service. Thank you. Thank you. So before we go on to the birthday table, I just wanted to acknowledge a couple of our veterans who were on Zoom who were not able, they came a little late, not able to stand while we were doing the military anthem. So in the Coast Guard were Gary Kahn and Hans Wick. So let's just acknowledge them. So we do have a couple of birthdays. Is that right, Dick Golden? They'll take care of it over here.
Yeah,
Maybe.
this is, November is the best month to have a birthday. It's my birthday too. So let me pass this around and see if we have some words of wisdom or just pass it on.
I don't have any words of wisdom. They've all left me. But I just want to thank everybody here because this has been a wonderful adventure for the last 3 or 4 years that I've been a member. And I've learned a lot. I've met many people. I'm just humbled by how many smart, talented people sit in this room every week. So thank you very much.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to all the veterans here today and those who are not with us. I could never do what y'all do or have done, so we are all grateful. Secondly, I had a sorority sister remind me about a week ago that literally I will be the old woman who lives in her shoes. And for those of you that know me, so that's about as wisdom-y as I can get.
So I don't have words of wisdom, I have a birthday wish. So I am hoping that this time next year we are all sitting here back together, bigger group, all of us without our masks.
I'm with her. Oh, okay, good enough. I love this club. I enjoy very much sharing some humor with them. And I saw this great quote the other day, and it was, a sense of humor is just common sense dancing. So I leave that with you. Thank you very much. Thanks to all birthday people.
Thank you, Dick. Thank you, and happy birthday to everyone. When it's your birthday, of course, you can sit at the birthday table and pretty much say whatever you want. So we've got a red badge. Our newest member, introduction.
Great. You're good. So please welcome our club's newest member, Richard Jobson, who is sponsored by Dick Golden and Danny Lindow. Born in Carlisle, Cumbria, England, and educated by Roman Catholic priests at Austin Friars, Richard has played the clarinet since age 9. He studied electrical and electronic engineering at the University of Newcastle upon Tyne. He was a member of the Bracknell Rotaract Club from 1982 to 1984, where he chaired the 3 Counties Cycle Ride Committee and grew participation from 300 to 3,000 cyclists in his second year. He was also a member of the Windsor Rotaract Club and the Windsor Roundtable. In 1997, he married Louise and moved to Edmonton, Canada. In 1998, he moved to Colorado Springs and raised 2 daughters, Emily and Olivia. In 2010, he moved to Boulder, and in 2011, became a U.S. citizen. I'm not going to go too deep into his career, but suffice it to say that Richard has had a very successful career in the wireless and telecommunications industry. Richard has also traveled extensively in Western Europe Asia, Africa, South America, North America, and Canada. His hobbies include mountain biking, hiking, and camping. He has played the clarinet in the Boulder Concert Band and has 2 dogs, Roxy and Coco. Please join me in officially welcoming Richard into Boulder Rotary Club. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Okay, we've got the brew by the Three Amigos. Have you seen those theme Colorado license plates? You know, the ones like CU and CSU or Veterans. What if there was one that said Rotary? That would be pretty cool. Right now, all of the districts in Colorado are collecting electronic signatures. They need 3,000 of them so that a petition can be considered by the state legislature and allow us to buy a Rotary-themed license plate. How can you participate in this electronic signature? 3 ways. Number 1, you can quickly memorize this easy-to-remember hyperlink and type it in at home. Number 2, you could take a picture of this QR code right now and it'll take you to the website on your phone or iPad. Number 3, probably the easiest, is to pay attention to the hyperlink and announcement that will be in the rib. That was in last week's rib and will be in this next week's as well. Wouldn't it be great? I know I'm going to buy one if it becomes available. Hope you will too. Okay, this week on Rotarian on the Street, we have new red badge Linda Rogers. Okay, this week's question, do penguins have knees?
No.
Why not? How do you know this? Have you seen a lot of penguin knees?
I have in Antarctica, and they kind of walk like this, so it wouldn't look like they were bending anything.
Okay, but they've got that big stomach. Did you pull up the stomach and look at their legs?
No, I didn't get that close.
Okay, but you assure us that there are no knees on penguins.
I'm not sure of that, no, but
okay,
it's a guess.
It's a guess. It's a good guess. Okay, this week, you heard it, no knees on the penguins.
Now that Halloween is done, we get to look at Christmas. Yay, Christmas! And one of the very best parts of Christmas is nigh. It's Share a Gift. Michelle Carpenter is going to be collecting gifts and money for Share a Gift this year at meetings on November 19th and December 3rd. If you bring a gift to donate, it needs to be new. That's because of COVID-19, and they recommended things like STEM gifts and games as great choices for the kids. You know that even during the epidemic, last year in 2020, Share a Gift served over 740 families, and that is over 1,900 children. And that's all in our community. Much thanks to them. You can also contact Michelle if you have questions. Her email will be on the screen. And I want to give out a big thank you to Michelle for keeping up the great work of Joanne Jocelyn, former BRC member, who's the founder of Share a Gift. And they have been helping families in Boulder since 1972. If you watch the news, listen to the radio, watch TV, talk to anyone at all, or are alive and not living in a small cave with no internet, you may think the word bipartisan is no longer a thing. It seems like it's been a long time since anyone used the word bipartisan without a heavy dose of sarcasm. As it turns out, bipartisanship still exists, and there are actual legislators working to do it. Next week, Representative Karen McCormick, Democrat, District 11, Colorado, and Boulder Rotarian, and Mark Catlin, Republican, District 58, will be here to discuss bipartisanship in today's legislative world. This will be an interesting conversation. Don't miss it.
Okay, that was totally lame. We forgot to do the audio. Okay, so we're gonna get a live one here. Let me get my brew voice on. Okay, it's almost the weekend, so you all know what to do. All together now. Have a great weekend. There we go. Okay, so I just want to thank everyone who contributed to today's meeting. Marty Evans and Richard Jobson at the greeters, Eve Kilmer and Judy Pitt at the desk and registration, raffle, Carl Kurtz. Zoom moderator was Cassidy Murphy. The meeting team, Lynn and Fred and Vanessa, and everyone who made this meeting great. Now, when I was president, I think there were about 44 meetings. 2 of them ended on time, and so my understanding is the past presidents have had a little pool over under whether or not I'd end on time. So I think it's pretty darn close. But it is over by a minute. But I love you guys. If you ever have the opportunity to be on the board or president of this club, if you're ever asked, I encourage you to do so. It was one of the best years of my life, and I love being past president, being able to chair this meeting when Chad is gone. So that being said, thank you and have a wonderful weekend. Meeting adjourned.